Down here on the right.
It wasn't Wagner tonight, but just how much of this was the struggles that you guys or maybe any team would have defending what Michigan does with its length and its shooting range?
It was just breakdowns defensively. We weren't doing our jobs, and they were getting open shots, and they made them. And that's what won them the game.
Both teams kind of dealt with foul problems. How would you say that changed the complexion of the game?
I honestly don't know. I felt like we were doing a pretty good job. Obviously, right there at the end, Biggie fouled out, and that hurt. But, it's part of basketball.
Other questions for Carsen and Isaac? Let's go over here on this left side. Brian.
For Isaac, they had 18 second chance points. What do you guys have to do, I guess, better to keep opponents off the offensive glass? It's been a little bit of a thing here lately.
Just stepping to our guys on long rebounds. When a three-point shot's going up, you have to step to them because it's going to either go in or go long. And we didn't do that tonight, and they got offensive rebounds.
Nathan.
Carsen, you guys are up 3 with 30 seconds left, and PJ going to the line. Just what was your confidence level at that point?
So what was our confidence level? I think we were up 2 when he went to the free throw line, but I thought he was gonna make the free throw, and he just didn't fall. That's it.
Other questions for these two? Brian.
For Carsen, can you walk us through the charge on the inbound, what you saw in that play and what you thought it was?
I just came down the court, and I did a crossover, and he just kind of jumped it. But I was going to pull it out, but he just fell, so they called it. That's it. Just a good play.
Way in the back.
Carsen and Isaac, you guys, obviously this is a disappointment, but you got more basketball ahead of you. Can you just talk a little bit about that and putting this behind you heading forward now?
Isaac, start with you, please.
So I would just say that, we just got to work on our things defensively. We can't have breakdowns like that moving on to the NCAA tournament because it's win or go home like we are now. And, every game could be your last game. So you have to fine-tune those things and come in into the NCAA tournament playing your best basketball.
Carsen.
What was the question?
Just about getting ready for the NCAA tournament.
The NCAA tournament obviously is ahead of you. This is a disappointment, obviously, but you guys got to put this behind you to get ready for that.
Oh, yeah. Just put this behind us. I mean, we learned from it. Just mistakes we made this game, we just learned from it, so we'll be able to be ready for the games ahead of us and just time to prepare now for the next game.
Is there one more for these two guys before I let them go? Anybody? All right, thanks, fellas. You may return to the locker room. We'll take questions for Coach Painter. Nathan.
Matt, Michigan's second chance points tonight. I mean, how much of that did you see as them capitalizing? How much of it was things you weren't getting done?
Well, obviously they get, 11 offensive rebounds. We get 10. They did a better job of capitalizing and scoring the basketball off their second chance opportunities. And, you have that a lot with teams that shoot a lot of threes, and they had a lot of misses. We did a good job of defending the arc, and they were 6 for 25. But with that, you got a lot of misses, and you got to be able to, step to your man and just pursue the basketball and be able to pick up the flight of it and pursue it and, give them credit for, getting those offensive rebounds, but also give them credit for scoring the ball.
Brian.
The charge on Carsen coming out of the timeout, that would have been a three-point play otherwise. What did you see on that play?
The one right in front of our bench in the second half? I didn't think he was there. I thought he was turned. He wasn't square with his body. I thought it was a good move by Carsen to continue on because he was so late and coming over there. You got to be set when he leaves his feet, not on contact. And a lot of times those guys have they got a tough time because they got to handle the arc, and they got to handle. Just because you're out of the arc doesn't mean it can't be a block. So he's got to get out of the arc. He's got to be able to officiate that. Then he's got to officiate is he set once he leaves his feet, not necessarily on contact. So I thought it was an easy block call. I don't know how we didn't get that one.
Mike.
The first time it was Wagner who went off in the first half.
Right.
This time it seemed like it was Wilson. What kind of challenges do they present from?
Well, we switched a lot more here in this game, and but with Isaac we're not going to switch, and that's that's why you see, him so productive, 17 points in 15 minutes, because we have a tough matchup. And so in that one stretch in the first half, we get up 7. I kept him in there, and we were trying to flip it offensively and get him the ball every single time. And those guys were in foul trouble and just scored the basketball. But on the other end, they really exposed us there. And so it was hard. It's hard when they go that small, for those guys to be able to handle that. And with Biggie, we just switch it, and we just kind of knock out the action. Then they try to drive us a lot. They try to play off the mismatch, and whether that's a post-up or a drive.
Down in front here.
Coach, Caleb had 10 points in the first half, just 3 in the second half. Was it something different that Michigan was doing, and how can you guys get him the ball in the post more near the end of the game?
Yeah. Well, they were doing a good job of playing post D. Early on, they were calling the fouls, and as the game progressed, they stopped. But we had the ball at the rim a lot, whether that was Vince Edwards or Isaac or Biggie, or drives from guards. We're around the rim, and that's what you want. You want the ball at the rim as much as possible. So, but, it's just one of those games where we had some chippies, not go our way.
Time for a couple more. We'll start right here.
Coach, with Michigan's last 48 to 72 hours, were you surprised at the energy they had and that they were able to continue through overtime?
No, they're a good team. They're experienced. They have a lot of guys that have been through it. So, no, not at all. We told those guys that, we're going to get their best shot. Obviously, they played really well against us in Ann Arbor a couple weeks ago and outplayed us there. I thought this was kind of an evenly played game. But they have a good team. They bring good guys off the bench, and they have good balance. And when they stretch you out like that, it's really difficult. But sometimes in travel and sometimes when things happen, whether it's an injury or an incident like this, sometimes it can kind of refresh and, you focus a little bit more. And I know that doesn't sound like it makes a lot of sense, but when you've dealt with it before and you have experience like Walton and Irvin and, Robinson and some of those guys, now it's like, hey, let's just go out and have fun and play and, give them credit. Give them credit for winning these 2 games.
2 more. First, Nathan.
You've been an outstanding free throw team all season.
Right.
Today you miss more than you make. Can you see anything that leads to that? Is it just one of those things?
No, just one of those things. I mean, anytime we shot 82% in league play this year. It was pretty good. So to go to 6 for 13, it kind of shocks you. And, we had a chance to close this game out, and, the guys that were, that missed these free throws, they've closed out a lot of games for us this year, by making them. And it's just one of those things. It's a law of averages, and it's unfortunate because if we'd have made our free throws, we'd have won the game. And there's a lot of games that we can say this year, we won it because of making free throws.
Last one over here.
Matt Isaac said that, you guys want to be playing your best basketball going into the NCAA tournament. Do you think you guys are doing that right now?
Well, I think today, we didn't convert. Sometimes it's hard to say you're playing well when you didn't, shoot the ball well. And a lot of times people equate that, a lot of fans equate those two together. And so, you're making a bunch of shots, you guys are playing well, when in reality, we turned the ball over too much today. So I wouldn't say, we play. You can't have that many turnovers and then get out rebounded and lose the possession game and think you're playing well. So I didn't think this was our best basketball today, but I also think Michigan had a lot to do with it. So hopefully we can get some time in the gym and practice and, figure out who we play on Sunday and then play better on Thursday or Friday.
Coach, thanks very much.
Thanks.
Purdue locker room's open until